Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gaurav Kumar Sharma, Company Secretary, who is basically working nowadays on SEBI LODR 2015 disclosure. Basically, SEBI LODR is Securities Exchange Board of India's latest listing obligation disclosure requirements and regulations 2015. You can contact me on my website www.csgauravsharma.com. It's a CSGAURAV Sharma.com, and you can also connect with me on WhatsApp 990694230. Now let's go ahead and talk basically about the SEBI LODR 2015 website inflow disclosures. Basically, if we talk about SEBI disclosures, then we will come into the aspect where we discuss basic situations like the listed entity shall maintain a functional website containing the basic information about the listed entity. The part which is being covered over here is basically a website of a listed company must contain the business and segment information, the aspect or the segment or the industry segment which the business is going to be done, or the product line range of the entity. Suppose if a company is a manufacturing company, then it will showcase its products over here on a listed entity website. If we take on another point, then it will ensure that the website must contain the correct and the true and fair position of the listed company itself. So there must not be any discrepancy or any error on the information which is being disclosed on the website of a listed entity. So you must have a check on that. Do not get indulged in a position where you are not going to provide any true or fair means of the website itself. Brief changes to the website made by you or any IT team or anybody else or the company directors. Basically, it tells about the position that the directors if changed or a registered office of a company changed or any structure changes in shareholding patterns or something else must be changed on the website itself first. Otherwise, it will be penalized and comes into the penal provisions of SEBI LODR 2015. The listed entity shall update any changes in the contents of its website within 2 working days. So if you make any changes on the website or anything else, then you must change or any event such happened like you have changed your company director, then you must intimate on the website itself within 2 working days of that change of a director. Okay, with the help of this example, I have told you regarding this. Okay, basically, a change in incident is equal to 2 days working time where you need to get it fixed over the website. If we move on further, there are key requirements, or we can say the core points which needs to be disclosed over a website under SEBI LODR 2015 regulations, which are business details like type of business, origin of business, place of business, what kind of business they are dealing into, how they are dealing into the business, basically the places or the associations if any, then it must be legally structured and must have a legal proof in the website itself. If we move on to a further point, like point number 2, then appointment of independent directors, how they are got appointed into the company. There must be any, if any, discrepancy on the terms and conditions, then it must also be noted down and being provided on the website itself. If we move on to a third point, then constitution of various committees of the board of directors, which is known as BOD, I have mentioned over here in an abbreviated form, must be noted down, like nomination committee or any other committee. Grievance redressal committee must be truly and definitely must be showed on the website itself. Okay, what are the members, who is the chairman, who is the person heading the company of that committee, and who is the person, the basic info about the committee members, like what are their qualifications, how they are managing the things. You can give the managing things details or something else also if you need to mention or if you wish to disclose more. Then if you go into code of conduct of KMP directors and senior management, uh, basically your company policies related to code of conduct, which a KMP, key managerial person, director, or senior management must follow or must be followed by them, must be indicated and must be truly and fairly represented on the website itself. Any further related change or discrepancy or error will make you go into the panel provisions adherence. So please do not make mistakes. Okay. So code of conduct must be a prime thing to be mentioned over here. If we move into the fifth point, then minute details of vigil mechanism and whistleblower policy in brief. If you have maintained and as per the SEBI LODR, you have to maintain a vigil mechanism policy and whistleblower policy. So basically the details regarding how this is to be maintained, who are the person heading a company, committee of these like vigil mechanism or whistleblower policy must be mentioned over there. What are the meetings, time intervals being conducted by vigil mechanism, what are the process handled, or any supervision or anything happened over there in that committee or whistleblower policy, what are the terms and conditions to the employees, and any whistleblower must be indicated to all the employees or the people connected with the organization must be maintained over there on the fifth point. If we move on to the sixth, the stringent part and the most striking part comes over here. Now, non-executive directors must tell about their payment details. In case if with the help of an example, I illustrate it to you, then the payment given to non-executive directors, maybe fees of the meetings which they are part of it, must be mentioned on the website. So, non-executive directors now not away from the ambit of taxation authorities or somebody else. So now they have to tell how much uh, money they are making from the meetings or setting fees or any other things must be mentioned over here. Any payment detail discrepancy if found through a bank transaction like on a check or something else given to a non-executive director and not found on the website will tantamount you or your company into a panel provision or attract the panel provisions to the company itself or to the concerned person, compliance officer, and other related person as well. And remember, these penalties are really heavy and it can tend amounts huge in the numbers. So please follow it. Any related party transaction, if a company get into it, like on arm's length price or something like that, must be told, or any policy if company have maintained, a listed company have maintained regarding dealing with related party transaction, then it must be showed or it must be presented on the website itself clearly. Even the names of the related parties involved into the transaction must also be mentioned. Any error or any misconception or anything which you have left on this RPT thing, then it will attract the panel provisions you are saying, or you might be thinking that I am totally talking about the panel provisions. I'm telling you because it will safeguard you from various penalties. Okay, now we move on to eighth point, ambit of material subsidiaries. Suppose if a company is a holding company and it formed a a holding listed company formed a material subsidiary anywhere in the part of India, then it must tell what would be the material subsidiary doing, uh, who who will be the material subsidiary like X private limited or Z private limited, what is the info, what is the relation, what is the dealing agreement or contract between two of those. So it must be maintained. So in earlier times it used to be handled like a company makes around 150 or 160 subsidiaries and try to manipulate things. Now the whole thing is being curbed by SEBI LODR 2015 website info disclosures. Now, if we move on to ninth point, as I have mentioned, email ID and contact details of grievance redressal mechanism concerned person must be given on the website. So, suppose if you are not following score system of a BSc, NSC, or anything else, Then you might get into the panel provisions. So the person concerned who's handling the grievances redressal of the listed company shareholder or other things must be maintaining the website's email ID and contact detail in a format manner, so that a person who is having the grievance from the listed company must contact. So basically, it's a investor protection tool which is being implemented by SEBI. Now, if we get into 10th point, brief detail and concern assigned as grievance redressal mechanism part must be given over here. Suppose if Mr. X is the person who is maintaining the grievance redressal mechanism, then his whole detail like his name, his full name, his address, his location, his email ID, his contact detail like mobile number, landline phone, if any or any other details where investor can or a shareholder can grab him or can ask him that I am having such and such grievance, and you must have the redressal for the same. So it must be present. It's fair also for the part of shareholders as well. So SEBI making the deals more clear for the shareholder and investor grievances. All about shareholding pattern. Uh, the 11th point is all about shareholding pattern. Now, the shareholding pattern and changes to the shareholding pattern must be intimated. If we talk about our earlier main point is that if any changes made to the shareholding pattern, then it must be notified within 2 days of that change on this website of a listed company. So do not think that if you are making any change, even a spelling error of a shareholding pattern, then it must be noted on the website itself. So do carry the website things so that you can update it within 2 working hours or within 2 working days. Sorry about the 2 hours. If we go into 12th point, agreement detail with the media and company if any. So if you are having any media details or PR related or contract or agreement of a listed company with the media, then you must carry the same with the uh, website. Suppose if you are having a PR agreement or public relation thing with a company or any relation with a media house, then you must give the whole detail on the website itself. So you must be knowing these days what people do. The large big business houses have the media links, so they do not show but get the unusual benefits out of it. So now the thing is moved into a compliance part. You cannot hide anything on 30th point. Any name change details, if any, from 1 year to the website in date-wise manner from last name to new name. Basically, this point talks about if you have a name like XYZ Limited and now it's being changed to ZYX Limited, then you must give the complete detail from what name to now which name it is being changed, and from which date to the date of the year itself, complete financial year, it must be disclosed. So suppose the name is changed from XYZ Limited to ZYX Limited, the name changed, last name XYZ, suppose on 3rd of October, then it must be noted to the full 1 year. So onto the website itself. So the last name, new name, and must be the changes as well on the website. Financial information like financial know-how about the company, what is the situation of the company's strength, weaknesses, or anything else. Now, if we further talk about the 15 point or 16 point of basic financial results, how they interpreted, any notes, if any, how these passed, these financial results being approved, or the notice through which these being discussed also must be laid down on the website itself. So annual secretary records containing financial results, discussion, approval, passing out must be noted down on the website itself. Even if the notes of any financial results must be on the website itself. Annual report, complete copy of the same, complying uh, stock director report, balance sheet, P&L, corporate governance report, if any, must be laid on there. Sorry about the compiling spelling over here. So I'm sorry about that. On 18 point, we discuss like know-how and methods through which financial results were being kept in knowledge of independent director. How you told about the independent director that these financial results came and how was the calculation procedure and how these being taken and how you kept those records through the independent directors, like how you represented the same in front of independent directors must be kept as a proof of document that you have the company have followed the financial results presentation to the independent director. If we move on to the 19th point, independent director's attendance of series of events where he was part in the same, like how much hours he have uh, given to the meeting or was a part of entire proceeding, suppose in board meeting, suppose in any other meeting, then a hour basis time of independent director is to be measured. Uh, it's a very welcome step from the SEBI. Basically, independent directors are also very much equipped with their wide knowledge and their experiences, but now it's being measured through hours. I do not know why SEBI asked about it, but it's a welcome measure. Uh, Number of hours of independence present in the company for the events I have told about that. So series of attendance, how many board meetings, how many other meetings independent directors hold over there, or number of hours he's present on the company. Any other relevant details which company thinks it must be noted down on the website. So do carry all the information on the website and do changes to make the changes accordingly. Otherwise, you will attract the panel provisions. And thank you very much for this whole presentation. You can contact me on 990 694 230. I am also connected through WhatsApp number of this. You can also contact me on csgauravsharma.com. It's csgauravsharma.com. You can also maybe mail me your queries related to SEBI LODR 2015 website info like on GAURAV Delhi RAV at gmail.com on my mail ID. You can connect on various groups also through my FB handle or my Twitter handle or YouTube handle. Thank you very much for the same. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.